Aha!
Hi there, just to move on from my previous footage, we got to the point where we had the doors on, we had the subframe mounted, we had one eye panel, one wing, the front valance and the bonnet. We got to this state, as you can see here. I wasn't happy with the gap between the door and the eye panel. It was too big. I could physically get my fingers in there. It was as though the whole wing and eye panel needed to move towards the back of the car. So what I did, I thought I'd go and visit my mate Connor over at CP Restos. He's doing exactly the same thing on a Mark IV, Mark V Mini at the moment, just to maybe get a few tips and pointers to see if there's anything I can do to sort it out. So here's a little bit of footage of my visit to Connor at CP Restos. So here we are with Connor's Mark IV, Mark V Classic Mini here at CP Restos. Thought it was worthwhile just doing a comparison between this one and the one I'm doing because of the subtle differences in the front subframe, single tower bolt there in comparison to the twin tower bolt arrangement on mine. There'll be some, which I think you can just see in the darkness down there, rubber mounted teardrop connection at the front. Yeah, it's a bit dark down there, but you can see the difference. He's got some good panel gaps running round between the Magnum front panel and the Heritage wings. He's got a nice square bonnet sat in the middle of the opening, and he's got some good gapping down the side of the bonnet, and the wings sit nicely within the gutter of the bonnet as well. There's a few tech screws holding that in position. Good constant gaps all the way around there on the wings to front valance. Good sweep of the wheel arch up from the front valance, around the wing and down the eye panels. Nice tight seams up between the eye panel and the front wing, all the way up the eye post up the side of the windscreen, all the way down. His eye panels obviously reach his doorstep, which as we know mine don't. So yeah, all nice and tidy. Nice gaps between the scuttle and the front wing there. Connor did mention a trick on just helping these front wings relax into this joint. He's put some little cuts up the return seam on the back of this wing there. You might just be able to see them, which just helps this form the shape around the curve of the scuttle there and bring the joint in nice and tight. So I think I'm going to try that as well. So yeah, good job there. A few other motors in the workshop as well, just quickly. We've got the car we've just been looking at. Just looks like a normal kind of mini city, something like that. The red one behind it is an original 1275 GT. It's having a lot of money spent on it. It's got some dimpled eye panels. It'll have some dimpled, a dimpled rear valance. It's having a open weave carbon roof, which is why the lid's been cut out. It's having a 1293 race tuned engine by the sounds of it. New rear quarters, new floor, Looks like a lot of panel work on that and a few more bits to do. There's the minivan there, which is in a bit of a dilapidated state but still salvageable, apart from the roof. And then we've got an interesting Mark III Clubman saloon, 1977 maybe, something like that, can't tell. Looks like a damask red looking at it, nice colour. 10-inch wheels, drum brakes on the front. Yeah, needs a lot of money spending on it, but again it's of an age which will hold its money and be really sellable when it's back to being roadworthy. Got a trailer now. Wouldn't even ask about that up there. Still got the estate and loads of parts. And then we've got the other GT in the booth at the moment. So there was a couple of things I learned while visiting CP Restos. Two things was to help get this wing into a position which is more comfortable with the gapping going around. Connor's tip was on the wing. I'll grab the other wing so I can show you. Was to cut some grooves up this flange here, which will just help relax this curve on the wing itself, and hopefully allow just that few extra millimeters of movement to close the gap up from this curve on the wing onto the curve on the windscreen scuttle, and bring the flanges of the wing and the eye panel closer together, maybe just allowing that eye panel to push a little bit closer towards the edge of the door and give some nice door gappage. So what I'll do is I'll take the bonnet off the car now, and I'll show you what the result of doing that was. So let me take you off the stand. Let's have a look. Let's go to the area I was talking about. So if you look at that there, that has gone considerably closer together. I'd have to look back over my old footage, but this wing has definitely moved closer to the scuttle here just by cutting those little grooves in there. And I know it's moved because the old tech screw hole is completely underneath this flange now. Still got good. Put an extra screw in there on the wing to inner wing just to hold it together. We've got some good lineage through there still. Good sweep on the arch. I'll be honest, a much easier clamping experience, if I can call it an experience, between the eye panel and the wing. And then when you look at the door gap now, it's a lot better. I've still got that 6mm misalignment, but I can't do anything about that apart from my little remedy of slicing it and scooping it down, but the sweep of the arch is good there. And what it has done, it's brought the shock absorber holes much closer together as well. So you can just see the daylight through there of the holes. And looking at the joint, I'd say that inner wing has moved back at least 5mm. So the inner wings moved back, the outer wings moved back, the eye panels moved back, giving me a tighter door gap, which is exactly what I wanted. And that looks okay there. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Glad I went and visited Connor, because that really helped me shift everything across. So I'm starting to look at this other inner wing now and trying to do the same type of remedy to everything to get it to fit. I've doctored this inner wing slightly again, and just line it up and put it in front of you. There we go. Just to give me a bit of movement, I'll use the word hacked. I've hacked out that there to go around that bulge in the original inner wing, but all that's coming off anyway. So I'll move the camera around and we'll try and get this other inner wing into some kind of position. So yeah, I've cut that out as I said. I've had to do a little bit of manipulation onto this front edge. I've just had to bend round just a few millimeters that leading edge there. So it was just holding the inner wing off the bottom of the bonnet area. So lining that up in there. If I hadn't have bent that little leading edge round on this inner wing, it was basically stopping this curvature hitting the back of the front valance there in that area. I did it on the other side, so going by experience now, learning from the other side, I've done the same thing this side. So that's roughly that in position. It's lining up roughly with the 4 original holes for the shock absorber mount. It needs to come forward a little bit, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and hold that in position, put the bonnet on and have a look and see what's happening, because at some point I've got to try and reduce down this bonnet gutter, because this is stopping me. Obviously this is trying to sit on top of that and giving me an unrealistic line around there, because I've got a little feeling that this front edge just needs to drop down ever so slightly. I might have to take a little nick. I might just have to reduce this flange ever so slightly to allow that to just drop down a fraction. But I'll see once I've got this clamped in position, and we'll get the bonnet on.